Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, there's an update, but I'm not 100% sure that Iran is agreeing to this because you know how Donald Trump will come out and make a statement, and then later Iran will say they never made such an agreement. I just kind of have a feeling we're going to see that play out again. So, Donald Trump, and y'all remember this is Taco Tuesday, and he just never disappoints on Taco Tuesday. So Donald Trump came out on Truth Social and he said that they are extending the ceasefire. Now, ain't heard nothing from Iran on this, just Donald Trump. So, of course, everybody's, reminding people, yes, this is Taco Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. And yes, it is Taco Tuesday. So he's insisting that it's going to be extended. Iran already said they were not showing up for the negotiations because Donald Trump is doing what he always does. They are still blocking the Straits of Hormuz. Donald Trump has not called that off. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. They said they are not coming to the negotiating table because it's the same thing, just like the first two times Donald Trump wanted to negotiate and he kept right on bombing them. Now he wants to negotiate and he won't remove the blockade. And I think they're just tired of playing these games with Donald Trump because every time it's that moment to negotiate, he always got some crap going on against Iran. So I think they're tired. And it was like the end of last week when they announced they were not showing up for the meeting. And it was supposed to be in Pakistan because they're the ones hosting it and mediating. Well, I guess nothing is going to happen. It's not because Donald Trump made this announcement. It's because Iran already made it clear. So he's just trying to save face. Oh, we're going to, extend it out, but he didn't say how long. So, y'all, all I got to say is I'm just waiting for Iran's side on this whole thing. I'm sure it's never going to match what Donald Trump is saying. Let me just put it that way. All right. I'm going to share my screen so we can get started. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. And don't forget to pick up your hair products. 12 Tribes on Earth. Use the discount code Thank You 10 at checkout. Thank you. Thank you very much.
We have some breaking news in the war with Iran. President Trump just released a statement moments ago. Let's get right to CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, what's the very latest?
Hey, Liz, good to see you. I told you there were a lot of developments today. In the last 10 minutes since we just spoke, there was one more very big development. President Trump on True Social just wrote, based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, and upon the request of the Field Marshal of Pakistan and their prime minister, he says, quote, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able. The president goes on to say, I will therefore extend the ceasefire until such a time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other, signed from the president of the United States. So there you have it. The ceasefire is extended indefinitely at this moment. We don't know until when, and we do not know in what form the negotiations will take place. As a reminder, when I just spoke with you, we saw from Iran state media that they said they are not going to go to Islamabad, Pakistan for those negotiations set to take place on Wednesday. And the ceasefire was looking to expire this evening at 7:50 p.m. Eastern. In light of all of that, we know the president has been gathered here today with some of his top deputies, including the vice president, the secretary of state, and the defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, having conversations about what to do if Iran does not show up. Well, it seems that the U.S. has been talking with the Pakistani mediators, and as a result, the president is extending that ceasefire until a proposal is submitted and the discussions are concluded. Obviously, this raises a lot of questions about what does discussions concluded mean? An end to the war, a full firm deal, a signed deal? What does this all actually mean? Because the president says a blockade is going to continue, and the Iranians have said that blockade is part of the reason why they're not going to go to Islamabad to have any negotiations with the U.S. So looks like this ceasefire is continuing at this moment, but still, Liz, just a lot of questions here at the White House today.
And Olivia, remind us, too, the status of this team of negotiators that apparently were going to go to Pakistan to negotiate. Still unclear whether or not Vice President J.D. Vance is included in that group. Remind us again what the update on that is. Do we know?
Right. Well, let's take it back to Sunday. We know President Trump on Truth Social early Sunday morning wrote that he was sending a team of representatives to the region for these negotiations. He then told multiple news outlets on Sunday morning that he was not sending the vice president to be part of that group. Then the White House confirmed that, in fact, the vice president would lead that delegation, and that delegation would also include Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. But then the question became, when are they going? The president said that they would arrive there late Monday evening. Monday evening came and went. They did not leave Washington. So then Tuesday morning, today, questions about when the vice president is going to leave, if at all. Earlier this afternoon, we saw the vice president arrive here at the White House. So clearly not leaving at any given point, in that near-term future, especially as the ceasefire was going to expire this evening at around 7:50 Eastern. Then we had this flurry of activity. So the vice president was ready to go. We're told, I kept being told by White House officials that the word was fluid. The negotiations were fluid. The timing that the vice president would leave was fluid. And if he would go at all was fluid. But it seems that we now know with the extension of this ceasefire and the questions about whether the negotiations are going to happen, it would be interesting to see if the vice president leaves this afternoon. We have not gotten any indication that he would still go to the region, of course, given the fact that the Iranians said that they wouldn't be. But certainly this gives this White House a bit more time to just try to figure out what to do with this ongoing war, which is entering its 8th week.
If you're going to cover the White House, Olivia, these days, you got to have your head on a swivel. It changes by the minute. Thank you so much for that update. Yes. We're going to stay on top of this breaking news. President Trump announcing on social media that he is extending the ceasefire with Iran.
I really like tacos on Tuesday. I really like tacos on any day. Tonight, I'm actually having empanadas for dinner. But what does this have to do with anything? Well, Donald Trump likes Taco Tuesdays as well. And he has once again done just that when he put out this statement right here. Based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured and upon the request of Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other. President Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump has for over a week has said, we are not extending the ceasefire. I have no desire to do that. But obviously he did. And he was using that as some sort of negotiation tactic after he refused to do what Iran said needed to be done for them to come back to the negotiating table. But the thing is that we need to remember is just because Donald Trump extends the ceasefire for the United States does not mean Iran is beholden to that. Tomorrow night, Iran could say, hey, we're done. We're not extending the ceasefire. Good luck.
The president putting out a statement on Truth Social, his social media site, saying that he is extending the ceasefire deadline. So this coming from the president of the United States just a couple of minutes ago. He says, based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, not unexpectedly so, and upon the request of Field Marshal Asim Munir and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. He says, I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other. That just a couple of moments ago from the president of the United States. So here we have now, Melissa, the U.S. side saying it is unilaterally extending the ceasefire. We have the Iranian side, as I just reported a couple of minutes ago, saying they're not going to participate in negotiations. The president saying he's going to keep this blockade, naval blockade, in place in the Strait of Hormuz indefinitely now. And so that leaves you at sort of a standoff. The president is saying here until he's going to keep this blockade in place until the proposal is submitted, that is a proposal from the country of Iran. Iran just said they're not participating in negotiations. So it's not clear that any proposal is in the offing at all here. And what you might have is a more or less indefinite standoff until some kind of breakthrough behind the scenes happens.
Iran just called Donald Trump's bluff for the second time and forced him to back down as he extends the ceasefire indefinitely. Now, as you know, Donald Trump has given Iran an ultimatum. They had to make a deal by Wednesday or the bombing would continue and they would be sent back to the Stone Ages. And this is the second time he's made such a threat. Well, Iran is not coming to the table to negotiate, let alone make a deal. And Donald Trump is backing down as he took to Truth Social to announce that he is going to extend the ceasefire indefinitely until Iran comes to the table with a proposal, which is almost a surrender at this point. If he's telling Iran, look, we're not going to fire at you anymore, we're done bombing you, he's essentially backing off of them completely. They have almost at this point secured more leverage than they've ever had in their existence. This is one of the most embarrassing moments in the history of the United States as Donald Trump took on a much weaker country with the strength of our military, and we're the ones backing down. We're the ones folding, thanks to Donald Trump.
The president has extended the ceasefire with Iran unilaterally. I assume Iran would go along with it. That's after he said yesterday, Monday, that he probably would not extend the ceasefire with Iran. This is what he said on Truth Social, where the policy of the United States is dispensed. He said it's because the government of Iran is seriously fractured. He's going to continue the blockade, though, and he's going to wait until Iran has a proposal to make to the United States. In the meantime, the negotiating team of Vance Witkoff and his son-in-law, Kushner, remains in the United States after the president said yesterday that at least Vance was on his way to Pakistan. And that's after he said that J.D. Vance wouldn't be going to Pakistan at all, and then apparently he was. So that's where we stand. Who knows what the hell's going to happen? He certainly doesn't.
Well, it's Taco Tuesday, and Donald Trump has tacoed again. Yes, Donald Trump has extended the ceasefire after threatening them all week and then saying, fuck you, we're not even going to come to the table. Donald Trump has extended the ceasefire. Oh, he must need some money from the stock market or something. Yes, he said that their government is fractured and we have to give them time to regroup and give us a proper proposal for the ceasefire. Till then, we're keeping our blockade up and not keeping any of the promises from the regular ceasefire. Yeah. Wouldn't be Taco Tuesday if Donald Trump didn't taco again. He's extended the ceasefire. He didn't say for how long. I'm sure it's 2 weeks because that's his go-to. It's always 2 weeks. We'll give him 2 weeks. But yeah, Donald Trump has tacoed once again. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday, everybody.
We've got some breaking news, folks. Full taco. So Donald Trump has just said on Truth Social that he is extending the ceasefire to Iran indefinitely until a time when they're ready to come to an agreement with the United States. That's right, folks. The guy who less than 12 hours ago said they were going to bomb your infrastructure, your bridges and your energies has gone full taco, and the ceasefire has been extended. according to him. Who knows the actual truth? But let me know what your thoughts about this are in the comments, folks. My name is Nick. The source for this is Truth Social.
All right, guys, it is Taco Tuesday, which again, I'm happy about. Like, I don't want a war. I don't want any of this nonsense, but just every day getting embarrassed by Iran has to grow old, right? So we've been saying we're going to go negotiate on Tuesday, and Iran is like, no, you're not. We're not coming. And oh yeah, no, we're going to send the vice president. It's going to happen. And they're like, no, it's not. And then they just magically, oh, Vance is busy now. He can't go. So we'll delay. We're going to delay these talks. And now the ceasefire is ending, and Trump is suspending it indefinitely. You're getting dog walked by Iran, which is humiliating. It's embarrassing to be an American right now. I'm glad you're not. Please don't attack anyone. You know, we're getting reports that he wanted to nuke them and his generals stopped it. I don't know if that's true or not. But he is like a big temper tantrum baby, so we'll see. But this is just like happening on a Tuesday is too good to write.
Just to bring us up to date now, more breaking news. As I say, President Donald Trump has posted on Truth Social the following. He said, based on the fact that the government of Iran is seriously fractured, not unexpectedly so, and upon the request of Field Marshal Asim Munir, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan, we have been asked to hold our attack on the country of Iran until such time as their leaders and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. I have therefore directed our military to continue the blockade and in all other respects remain ready and able, and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other.
Well, y'all, look like everything is in doubt again, thanks to Donald Trump. And I'm going to be on the lookout for Iran's response, because I have a feeling they don't know anything about this indefinite ceasefire. Just a hunch I have, you know. But it don't take them long to come out in the media. Usually they'll come out like by the next day after Donald Trump put some idiot statement out. So I'm anticipating at least by tomorrow we'll hear from Iran, and they'll probably debunk everything Donald Trump is saying. Oh boy. You know, Donald Trump is looking for an out, and I don't think he's ever going to get it. I don't think he will ever get that out. Oh yeah, they know not to trust Donald Trump. You would have to be crazy to trust him at this point. Man has not kept his word on anything. So I would not blame no one for not showing up at a negotiating table with Donald Trump at this point. I wouldn't blame anybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean that's on him. But yeah, I mean Donald Trump is definitely not trustworthy. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I thank you deeply for being here. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all of your support. Thank you for the Cash Apps. Thank you for PayPal. And some of you are still even donating on my GoFundMe, which sometimes I even forget it's there. But thank you. I deeply appreciate it. And y'all be on the lookout for my lives tomorrow. So have a wonderful, wonderful night. Shalom, family.